Hey, I'm JP Adams. I'm documenting my process of writing a nonfiction novel while more or less like maintaining. It's not a nonfiction novel. It's a book on productivity. It's called Thinker versus Doer. But basically using the same stuff that I talk about in the book to show how I'm doing not National Novel Writers Month, where I'm going to be writing a 200-page book at the same time while I'm maintaining my full-time job, which sometimes tends to run 11 hours a day. Sometimes, then I'm also doing a more or less every other project that I'm working on. So in general, you could find me at JP Adams online, and this time I'm more, I guess, talking about the process. But really, this is just me documenting what I'm going through. So today was an interesting day. I mean, being a Saturday, I didn't have any work requirements or anything like that, but I had plans to kind of get up in the morning and write for NaNoWriMo. That's National Novel Writers Month. And I had plans to write for that. And the goal was that when I get up, I would write for, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But I didn't get a chance to do that because I anticipated, so I have a 3-year-old, and I anticipated her waking up a little late. But by the time I was about to start writing, she had actually, she was up. So she came down the stairs, and the day began from there. And then I kind of had call daddy duties, where it's just me and her. And so I didn't really have a chance to get any focused writing time in the morning. But I mean, with all that, I was still able to do a lot of prepping, make some decisions about what I'm going to do as far as marketing and things like that. Because the thing with the novel is that not even a novel, but the book itself is that one of my goals is to more or less be able to publish it by the end of the month. So I know that no matter what happens, I'm going to publish it because that's the commitment that I've made to myself. So I'm going all out really hard to win NaNoWriMo, which is to complete the 50,000 words within the month of November. That's what equates to about the 200 pages. But more importantly, I want to take that, edit it, and publish it, or at least publish a first draft of it by the month of, probably by December. So that's where I'm at. It's an interesting approach when you look at it, because I think what happens is most people, you talk to them about NaNoWriMo and they're like, hey, it's gonna be busy. There's Thanksgiving. There's all this stuff. But I think the one thing that I was looking at is I wanted to make sure that without paring down anything, I was gonna be able to complete NaNoWriMo. I was going to be able to publish the book in December. I was going to be able to maintain my job. I was going to be able to maintain time with family. And I'm also doing, that was the other project, I'm doing a business edition boot camp, which has, so it's a module a week. And if you miss any of the homework, there's group support, and there's peer reviews. And if you miss any of those, you basically get dropped out of the boot camp. So I'm doing the boot camp, NaNoWriMo, work, home, and then trying to do the normal self-care stuff. So gym, I think that about it really. So that's what I'm on, and it's an interesting approach to doing NaNoWriMo. I believe the thing that got me looking at this path was because when you look at people that are trying to do things, right? I think my ambition and the type of outcomes that I'm after requires me to be able to manage more than one thing at a time. And so when you look at people that are just, maintaining work and trying to take on another project, they tend to get riled up by the extra responsibility, and then they don't move forward on it. So what I'm trying to do is grow myself out of the confines of saying that, I can maintain work and one additional project. So right now I'm maintaining work, home, and two additional projects with fairly intense output requirements. But the thing is, like, they're not actually all that intense if you look at it. And so that's what I'm looking at. But being in the productivity space, it's kind of like an odd thing because I'm realizing a lot of people are into productivity porn. Watching videos, to-do lists, and things like that. When really the essential piece of being productive is just have an outcome in mind. That's really it. Have an outcome in mind. So my current outcome is finish the novel and finish the course. But I also have a third, which is I need to launch something that I put up for sale as far as a course or a service by December also. So that's the third project that I'm working on, and I think I've found it difficult to get the energy to get it started, but it's on my radar and I'm definitely going to get that going. So I'm not too worried about being able to do it. I think from an emotional level, I worry about what it would do to my, I'll call it a winning streak, if I don't do it, meaning like if I don't make the offer. So right now I'm on a winning streak where I had got into a competition with my friend and I won that competition. It was a bet and I won that bet, and it was a weight loss bet, which I have a belief in, like, deep down inside me, that there are three things that you can't fake, right? You can't fake being a programmer or a coder when it comes to like real problems. You can't fake being a farmer, and you can't fake personal physical transformation. So you have to work hard. I mean, yes, people can use steroids and things like that, but you still have to work. You have to show up and do the work. Excuse me. And so that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to get myself to a point where, I can show up and do the work and get the results. And I'm on a winning streak. So right now, I don't have a choice but to win NaNoWriMo because I don't want to have that ding emotionally, And the thing is, there are people that try to prove other people wrong. But at this point where I'm at, I'm trying to prove my self-doubt wrong, right? So I'm trying to prove that, the voice inside my head that says, you only think you're that good, I think that voice needs to quiet down a little bit, because I run into people that think they're that good all the time, and they're not really that good. It's not a matter of like comparing myself to people, but it's just a matter of like people make faulty assessments of what their strengths are, because those people are good at other things, but they make wrong assessments about the things that they're good at, whether it be assuming that they're good at everything, or whether it be getting themselves hyped up about, something that's a weakness or a blind spot, which is actually even worse. So that's where I'm at right now, where I'm going after things that I know are my strengths, and I tend to have that voice of self-doubt pop up. And so this is a way of me going after those voices of self-doubt and taking them out one by one. And I'm not going to lose to that guy. If I do find something where it's like it was a blind spot and I thought I was strong at it and I'm not, great, lesson learned. But until then, I'm going to go after all my strong points and I'm going to knock them all out of the park. And I can't let the lack of execution be the thing that gets me. So because of that, I'm here putting out the video. My name is JP Adams. I'm a software engineer. I take a lot of the things that I've learned from developing software and apply it to personal development concepts. and I try to use that to make sure I ensure execution. So you'll see me here every day putting out one of these videos, and as my book gets closer to completion, I'll start to share some things about that here. Writing a book on personal productivity and taking action called Thinker versus Doer. I think it's catered more towards people that think and tend to not take action as much, or people that hesitate in the face of action, or people that like to spend time over prepping. So I'm working on that, and you can find me at jpadamsonline.com, where I have a few blog posts there. But happy Saturday. Well, it's Sunday now, so happy Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.